Before it gets around quickly.
7 in a row you guys have lost here. What is it just that has plagued you guys about those plays?
I think it's a lot of things. You know, opening game last season, we had the game in control. Joe Johnson has a hell of a fourth quarter and does what Joe Johnson's done his whole career. So whether it's turnovers, not the defense that you need to have, getting this crowd into the game, to me this is one of the tougher places to play in the NBA. So you got to play a clean game, you got to defend at a high level. And you know, Portland came in here and beat them in the fourth quarter. I thought Utah got great looks. They just didn't make shots. So you got to get a little bit lucky as well. But hopefully we can stop that 7-game slide here in Utah.
The Jazz defense has been one of the best in the NBA the past couple of years. Everyone kind of knows about Rudy in the middle, but what else really makes this defense successful?
Quinn Snyder. You know, I think, you know, Quinn definitely deserves some credit. You know, being their head coach and putting them in the right position, the right game plan. You know, Rudy definitely does help when you have a defensive anchor like that who can block shots and change shots at the rim. You know, but all the other guys, they bought in, they commit, they play hard, they defend. Ricky Rubio is a very good defender. Last time we played them, they had 12 steals. Very active defensively, and they have a lot of guys that have high IQs. You know, Joe Ingles not going to back down from anybody, so they have a good game plan. They're tough, they're defensive minded, and that's what makes them a tough team to beat because they defend at such a high level.
Did Jared Vanderbilt go through any portions of shoot-around today?
Yeah, he was out here. You know, again, he's been doing parts of practice. You know, nothing live, and today going through the shooting stuff, the bigs shooting, and some of the script as well. So yeah, it was good to see him out here once again.
Coach, obviously you guys have really well with your players and everything. As you get guys back and everything, what's the potential of this team?
You know, I think the fact that it's this late in the year and we're second in the Western Conference, while being the second youngest roster in the NBA and having the most games missed due to injury, I think the potential is scary. And we knew we had a very deep team, a very talented team, but to be doing what we're doing with the youth and the injuries is kind of remarkable. So now that we get Gary back, now that we get Will Barton back, Juancho back hopefully soon, Isaiah Thomas in the future, you know, I think we have one of the deeper teams in the NBA. Now the question is, can you get guys on the floor and create that on-court chemistry this late in the year? But love our team, love where we're at, and more importantly, love what the future holds.
More specifically, I guess, I mean, it's a really similar roster to what you had last year. What were the steps that you guys had to take from last year to this year?
You know, I think the continuity, you know, has definitely helped us. It helped us hit the ground running from training camp into the preseason, into regular season. Allowed us to get off to a 9-1 start. You know, our free agent signings were our own guys, Nicola, Will. So there was a lot of corporate knowledge, a lot of continuity, which I think is so important in the NBA. We're not starting from ground zero. And I think guys, when you miss the playoffs by one game 2 years in a row, I think that allows for guys to do whatever it takes to put themselves in a position where they have a chance to be a playoff team. And I think the defense is probably the biggest improvement that we've made. Hasn't been where it needs to be as of late, but you know, last year you're dead last in three-point defense. This year you're top 5. We've done a much better job of winning games on the road this year, but last year we struggled. So there's a lot of things that have improved, but the players deserve the credit. They bought in, and they understand what it's going to take to make the playoffs in a very talented and deep Western Conference.
You talked a couple weeks ago about how important it was for you guys to re-sign your own guys and to keep that core together. Do you have an appreciation, just big picture, of how you guys have constructed this roster and how seemingly sustainable it is moving forward?
Yeah, I think the best thing that we've done is that we haven't, you know, mortgaged that future. You know, we've kept hold of all of our young assets. And you know, the NBA is crazy. Different trade offers are made, different discussions are there. You know, but I love the fact that from ownership to the front office to the coaching staff, we realize that Jamal, Nicola, Gary, guys like that are the future of this team. And you know, you see a lot of examples of teams that mortgage young assets for a vet, for a win-now mindset. And in the end, they don't have a whole lot to show for it. So I think the fact that we're building this from within, internally, growing with our players, and to see that we're one of the few teams 4 years in a row that's gotten better every season. Not many teams can say that, especially when you do it with young players. The biggest challenge in the NBA is to win games while developing players. It's somewhat of a catch-22 because it's tough to win with so many young guys. But we've been able to do that and do it at a pretty high level. So I like the makeup of our team, but more importantly, Mike, I like how we've gone about it. And that continuity and that building from within allows you to have a very close-knit group.
Sticking with that same point, how much has the player development staff allowed you guys on the road and during season to keep guys progressing, even though you guys are still slowly bringing younger guys along?
Yeah, it's. I think the entire coaching staff, we do a great job in terms of working with our players, spending time with them not only on the court but off the court, which is just as important with good player development. Letting our players know how much we care about them, because that allows them to buy in that much more. But from JB, Ogie, and Stephen Graham to all my assistant coaches, we spend a lot of time with our players, watching film, working with them on the court, and the proof's in the pudding. All of our players have gotten better. All of our players have added to their games, and they're not the same player they were a year ago or 2 years ago. So you're either getting better or you're getting worse. You never stay the same. And I'm proud to say that all of our players have improved.
Coach, as a big man, why is Nicolas passing game so effective?
Well, when he was a young kid, he was actually a point guard. So if you go back to him being as he'll tell you, a fat point guard back in Serbia many years ago, it's translated. He has incredible ball handling skills. He has an incredible high basketball IQ and his vision. So he sees the floor. He sees when guys are open before they even know they're open. And to me, I say this all the time to our media back home, the definition of a great player is one that makes their teammates better. And Nikola does that every night. He's averaging 7.7 assists per game right now, which is unheard of. The only guy that you could put in that same sentence would be Will Chamberlain. And when you're mentioned with Will Chamberlain, you're doing something right.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, Coach.